Video at the request of my daughter who wants my secret recipe for bread. I'm going to start off with very good ingredients: gold medal quality flour, enriched, unbleached, unbrominated, and King Arthur's all-purpose flour, unbleached, unbrominated, enriched. We're going to add 3.5 cups of the flours, which is going to be 1.5 cups of the gold, 1.5 cups of the King Arthur flour. We're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, halved, 1 tablespoon of shortening, or what I use is olive oil. I'm going to use 2¼ teaspoons of the Red Star active yeast, very good yeast, very good quality. And I'm going to put in 1¼ cups of very warm water, which is approximately 120 to 140 degrees, and topping it off by putting in 2 tablespoons of butter. I don't like margarine. Now you bring the ingredients in the mixing bowl to the blender, where we're going to slowly add our water. You're going to let the mixer mix all the ingredients of the flour, the sugar, the salt, the yeast, and the oil all together before adding the warm water, so it can all be well mixed together and it doesn't clump. Once you've let it mix together for approximately 1.5 to 2 minutes, you're going to start slowly adding the warm water. When you see it starts to get clumpy, slow down with the water. Remember, we're looking for a loaf. It's going to crumble. Keep adding water slowly until you see it start to roll up into a ball. Once you see it start slowly rolling up into a ball, stop with the water and increase your speed just a little bit. You're going to let it wisp on medium-high for 1.5 to 2 minutes. We're going to put olive oil on your baking tin so the dough does not stick. Evenly spread it around on the walls and the bottom of the pan, so when you go to remove your bread later, it doesn't fall apart under the knife. After the dough has had a chance to be in the blender for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to slowly pour it into the bread mold using a silicone ladle. Pour it into the middle of the pan. Remember, it's very sticky. If you want to garnish the top of the bread with seeds, fennel, rosemary, or whatever your favorite seed or topping is, you can do so. Try to make a little design on the top, whatever you may fancy. Also, if you want to add to the flavor of the topping of the bread, you can add some of my favorites: fennel seed, sage, thyme, or rosemary. After you've added the favorite seeds to the top of the loaf, you have to cover it with some sticky plastic wrap to seal it while it sits on your stove in a warm area. You have to give it 30 to 45 minutes to give the dough a chance to rise. Once it's risen past the brim of the dish, we're going to put it into a preheated oven at 350 to 375 degrees. Now that you've allowed the dough to rise for 30 to 45 minutes, you're going to see it's going to slowly climb to the top of the pan. So you're going to remove the plastic sealing wrap. You're going to place it into a preheated oven This is the fun part, where you get to peel away the plastic wrap without pulling away all the dough. Remember, dough is very sticky. And there you have it. After removing the plastic cup, and not without vibrating the tin, we're going to put it inside the oven, ready for baking. Remember, it's going to be in a preheated oven. You want it to be in the middle of the pan, not at the top. If not, the top of your bread might get burnt. So after 30 to 35 minutes of baking, you can remove it from the oven, and you're going to have a beautiful golden brown loaf that you need to let cool for a little while before you slice it and keep it in the refrigerator. Remember, there's no preservatives in this bread. I strongly suggest you refrigerate it. And hope you enjoy your bread. Happy eating!